Welcome back, everybody. Got another video for you. And first, I want to give a disclaimer: nothing meant or intended for any legal purposes. We're talking about history and education and lies and all that stuff. But I got my my good friend Mr. Gray back for another spectacular video. How you doing, Joe?
I'm good, Richard, as always.
As
A
always,
little under the weather. I may have to cough every now and then because I'm dealing with the flu.
That's all right. You're human. No
Yeah, I'm
problem.
about over it. I
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah, Joe, I had a couple of questions. One was just this morning, so I had to add it. But I don't know if you know this dog, but somebody asked about the Rayero dog.
Yeah, I knew Rayetto.
Okay, what was he all about?
He was a five-time winner
Oh, wow.
down there from the thing, and then he died here in a chain wreck.
Oh, okay.
And he really didn't have a chance to prove out as a producer because I bred him to the littermate sister to Baldy and Senata, a little bitch called Stormy. And that litter of puppies, kind of went there because that was right at the time as I was dropping out from my extended vacation.
Right.
And I know that Bayonne had one he called Chocolate, a little male, and he worked out pretty good. Now, the dog is in the sperm bank.
Mm.
And I just heard through the grapevine that those straws are selling for about $3,000 a straw.
Wow.
You'll have to go through M&M. You know who I'm talking about there.
Yep.
Because he's got, and he did a lot of breeding with the grinder man.
Okay.
And I think he let him breed to that dog, and they sold several pups. If that's why they want to know, yes, the dog did exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was a five-time winner.
Right. And he was a littermate to Baldy?
No.
Oh.
No, the bitch I bred him to was.
Oh, okay. How was Rayero bred?
Man, I don't know.
Okay.
According to Tacho and Frank and Dan and them, and they might have been just pulling my leg,
Yeah.
Supposedly Booger bred to Luke's daughter.
Oh, okay.
He's famous in down south now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what Rayetto means? That's scratcher.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And he come here after his fifth win. He had a wrecked shoulder. I mean wrecked. And Kirkland and another boy come over. They had one of them Curtis Low dogs. They called him Fast Eddie. Oh, he's a monster. He's this and he's that, and we want to roll him. And I said, well, why'd y'all come here? Goddamn. I ain't got a dog over 35 pounds, and that dog's big, 45 plus.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a roll. It's just a roll. I ain't got nothing that size. And Kirkland walked out in front of my barn, and he pointed out there. What about that right yonder? And he pointed out that old dog.
Yeah.
I said, no, that dog, he's retired. He's got a broke shoulder, too. He said, oh, it's just a roll. So they kind of got under my skin, how they could do.
Yep.
Their arrogant attitude. I just walked out there and took those sumbitch off the chain, put him in the barn. We had a little square in there,
Yeah.
Two of the walls was 2 foot high, but the other two was barn walls. You couldn't go over them.
Right.
We let them sumbitches go, Richard, and that old broke-shouldered dog hit Fast Eddie in the kidney and shoved him up the barn wall where he didn't have a foot touching the ground and was just driving him up that wall in the kidney. And they went to holler and get him off, get him off, get him off. I mean, instantly.
Yeah.
And I got him off, and Kirkland went, man, that's a fucking match dog. That's a match dog. I said, he used to be, but he ain't no more. I'd match him right now. I said, but he ain't in your hands, Sauce.
Yeah.
And like I said, I only bred him at one time, and then I tell you what he did. He busted a swivel, and he killed my last little pure Tonka dog, the little 3-time inbred out of Mo. And it was Deke back to his mama, which come from breeding her son to her to make Deke. And I had a little dog I called Chocolate. And Rayetto busted his swivel and got on Chocolate and killed him. And Chocolate was a little lightweight, you know, but he left Chocolate and he went to that Pepper bitch and he couldn't handle that.
Damn.
She killed him.
Yeah.
Oh, it was fucking sickening loss, man. I lost my last pure Tonka stud and lost that good Mexican blood too.
Yeah. And
But
the bitch.
I floated some calls on account of that dog, and he was real and he was out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the bitch that finished him, did she live?
Oh, Pepper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one I told you she killed Billy and Crab's fucking 3-time winner cue ball. And then she killed Coy's grand champion little sister Freebie.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Tonka, somebody put a comment up there, and I guess his I forget now, but either him or one of his family members live close to Kerry Mickles.
Yeah.
And he asked if you knew anything about the grand champion Hellbend dog.
Was he Tonka Bear's brother?
I'm not sure.
I know Kerry Mickles had several good dogs up there, and Tonka Bear was my choice. I told you I sent Gizmo's littermate sister Noogie all the way up there to breed to Tonka Bear.
Right.
And she didn't take. And I can say Kerry Mickles sent the money back.
Right.
Yeah, he was fair.
Yeah.
Now he's the one that he sold a dog down this way that the old boy named Crazy Horse. It was a good looking dog, but we never got to look at him because he wasn't gonna knock a hair off nothing. Yeah. But, I think Hellbend might have been Tonka Bear's brother, and then he had one named Croc.
Right.
That was some kind of Chinaman blood.
Right.
There.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I get them mixed up because I knew he had a champion son of Chinaman too. So that was Croc.
Mm-hmm. That would be Croc.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Hellbend, he had 2 littermate brothers, Tonka Bear and his littermate brother.
Right.
And that must have been Hellbend.
Yeah. Well, apparently he made grand champion, and that was like tight Tonka, wasn't it?
Like what kind of Tonka?
Like tight bred. They weren't outcross, were they?
Well, he come from breeding Tonka to a double Bolio bitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
hell, he was bred right out there in California.
really?
Old man Williams, you probably know him.
Yeah.
He's a big circle show guy.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
That's who bred Tonka Bear.
Oh, okay.
And you know how I found it's Tonka Bear bred to Williams something lady. Williams Robin.
Robin, right, there you go.
Yep. Well, my memory's been kind of messed up since I got electrocuted.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm serious, man. I'm having hell remembering.
Yeah, well, I am too. Mine's just age or, I don't know, brain damage or something. I don't know.
I ain't going to blame mine on old age.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll get into...
Man, them Tonka Bear dogs, if they lost one, it was 2.5 hours or so.
Yeah.
And that ain't a cur. That ain't a cur losing a match. You got outdogged.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them...
That's when I sent Noogie out there.
Okay.
Yes, because, you know, she was out of mold, but off from the well, she was Gizmo's littermate sister.
Mm-hmm.
She was bad too, Richard.
Yeah.
She didn't become as famous as Gizmo, but she beat the War Paint Kennels champion Josie girl. Yeah.
Man.
Her first time out.
Wow. Yeah, that stuff, they could damn sure go the distance.
Well, that's what they did. They stayed.
Yeah.
You wasn't fixing to run them off. And them Tonka Bear dogs was the same way. And to me, that's bulldogs.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to see one that can jump out there and just wear one out.
Yeah.
I don't want one that can jump out there and wear him out for 20, 30 minutes and then stew with him.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that one that's been getting wore out that's going to crawl back over out of that tough son bitch and quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know as well as I do, at some point, not every dog, but a lot of them, they're going to have to go some time, so you got to have the right dogs, too. Even if they finish fast, you know, some of them fast finishers, if they're game, they goes time, too. I've seen a bunch of them, man. You know.
Well, I like intensity, but
Yeah.
I like them to be intense all the way through.
Right.
I don't like them to jump out there boiling over and then lose interest.
Walk away or run away and shit. That's embarrassing, man.
Some bad dogs I've seen quit and walk away.
Yeah.
And just monsters, you know, literally monsters, and quit and walk away.
Yep. Yeah, me too, man. It's just, like I said, it's just, I don't know what the hell is in their head, but they have a clock or a certain situation, they don't like it, and they just take off, man.
Well, you know, Richard, every one of those dogs, if you would have paid attention to them while you were schooling them, you could see that.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Every one that I saw walk away like that.
Yeah, it's always something in there, and sometimes more than one thing.
You pay attention. And you know, it's crazy. I was talking to Mr. Crab this morning. He called. And we was talking about Rapid Roy. He said, man, he supposedly won in 4 different countries. And this, I said, he won 1 match. I said, truth is, Rocky, I said, that dog showed every sign you could show, hey, I'll quit. And that's why the guy that used him got rid of him.
Right.
He didn't feed nothing off from him. He sent him down the road. He sent him back to where they come from.
Right.
And that guy made a ton of money on him.
Yeah.
Where's his production record?
Yeah. Not too
it's
much.
Non-existent.
Yeah.
Non-existent. Exactly.
Yeah, you're right, man.
Oh, I know. I was there.
Yeah.
I seen it all, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Roy was a monster.
Yeah. That's the excuse people make. Well, he bit hard. Yeah, but he quit. Well, it don't matter, he bites hard, but that ain't enough, man. That's not what the breed is about.
Nope.
You know? They're called game dogs for a reason, and all that, you know, and I just couldn't make that excuse. Because I've had and seen hard biting dogs that don't quit. So why not go with that instead of making an excuse for something that does?
I was talking to I think Jeremy this morning also on the phone, and we got to talking about OTK's dogs.
Yeah.
And he said, well, what about them? And I said, well, the truth is, that guy took a ungodly gang family of dogs from down south and crossed some of Schoolboy stuff with it that he inherited from Schoolboy, and throwed a little dash of that scallywag blood in there every now and then. Somehow, I said, and he created a line of fucking dogs that's almost impossible to beat.
Yep.
If you get them right, it's almost impossible to beat them because some bitches can bite like alligators and scratch all night long.
Yep. That's true,
but
Joe.
You have to have them right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. No, that's true. And that's, you know, that's kind of where that idea came from him to him from me, you know, because I'd tell him, and I tell anybody, why would you, because that question always comes up, you like a hard-mouthed dog or you like a game dog? And I tell them, you know, gameness first, but why can't you have both? Why does it have to be one or the other?
It's hard to get. They're a rare commodity.
It is.
And I consider OTK a complete dog, man.
Yeah, me too.
And I consider my friend over here that I told you lit his world up for him. He's a complete dog, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, because they breed them, they use them, they breed them, they raise them, school them, use them, breed them, raise them, school them, use them.
Yep.
Generational.
Yep. Over and over again. Exactly.
The same family, or the weaving in and out. And that's what OTK has figured out exactly how to weave them in and out.
Mm-hmm.
He did what I used to do. He's taken 3 extremely strong families, and he even throws a little booger in there every now and then. You know that, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's in there.
Yeah. And that, to me, the most admirable dogs on average, that I seen to show heart was the damn booger dogs. My dogs had heart, but they didn't have no more heart than them booger dogs, whether they was from East Texas or they was from southern Mexico, brother.
Right.
That's what them first two that my amigo come with was booger dogs.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, and I wanted one of them from that day on. Never did really get my hands on one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how I felt when I seen Tonky, If you're gonna
Yeah.
have, you like that blood, that's the kind of dog to get. Dogs
Yeah.
like her.
Oh, I knew. I never thought again that I would ever see one of those dogs. Because that's a rare bird to show up that far south, and hell, just be lucky to be there
Right.
and witness it. But I did. I developed an admiration for them dogs right then. It was just, I mean, like I said, your heart just goddamn near swells up and blows out your chest. You're so proud of the dog, and it ain't even yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've seen several of them, man, and they all. That's the one thing they have. They have that intensity. They just it don't let up, and it don't matter if it's a male or female. If they're a good one, they're gonna be there, man.
Well, yeah, and when I saw him, and I hadn't seen him in a few years, and he had one of them little black son bitches, and he got through, and he said, "You ain't gonna believe what this is." And I said, "What?" He said, "This is Chewy's blood."
Yeah.
I said, "Don't tell me Tonky's in there." And he said, "No, it's her sister."
Right.
And that's how I ended up with Baja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all in there. Cause what he did is he heavily inbred them, man. If you look at them ped, they're all brother, sister, mother, son, father, daughter, cousin, double bred back and forth, and it's crazy, you know.
Yep.
And for having Eli blood in them, they don't bite people, man. That's what amazed me. They ain't aggressive towards humans. They're just like regular dogs, but when they see something, they just get so amped up, man. They just
I don't know, Richard. I think them dogs just got more of the old line Carver than
yeah
they do the Eli.
yeah I know.
And I can't swear to it, but I think so.
Well, you never know.
Pre-Bully son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, when they started dealing them dogs down there, Bully son wasn't even born.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
And Eli wasn't nothing until Bully son and Eli Jr. come along.
That's true too.
And
yeah. Yeah.
And Mr. Floyd always said he couldn't swear to it, but he said Eli was daddy to Zebo too.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Mr. Floyd made one of the best statements I ever heard made. I could quote him. He said, "Son, you put one spoon of shit in a cake. No matter how good that cake is, you still gonna taste that spoon of shit." And he was talking about mixing your dogs together wrong,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
He's cool. He's just
yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah. Well, let's get into some of the old timers. Let's start with Mr. Fiddler first. Where'd you meet him, and how'd you get to know him?
Well, the very first time I ever met him and Roland come to watch Hoodoo go into James Creel. And I met Bill, and I was pretty impressed, and he talked to me. And that was rare, because he wasn't a very talkative guy.
Right.
And he told me, come visit him and shit, and I'd ride by and see him every now and then. But if he had something going, he'd call and let me know. And he pretty much give me the end to the dogs from Hoodoo and Roland's bitches. because he had one of them too. You remember I told you about the little Fred dog, the one I was going to shoot if the son of a bitch didn't work?
Yeah.
Bill had his litter mate brother and lost him in that big Natchitoches raid back in the 80s. And he had Ricky Jones's dog up on the wall trying to go over when the lights showed up.
Mm.
I don't know what happened after then. I run 65 miles.
And non-stop.
Non-stop, but I couldn't stop. It was too damn cold, man.
Yeah.
I was in my Levi's and my goddamn Tony Lama cowboy boots and a T-shirt. And I done bailed off out into the middle of the Keyshawn National Forest, they called it up there.
Yeah.
And there wasn't no roads, hell. I just followed the moon southwest. You know, I knew that's the way to Texas.
Yeah.
I'm serious, Richard. I come out over there, you know, just at daylight. I come out on a little oil top road and I was running down it, trying to keep warm. I'd done been running through them woods all night.
Yeah.
And it was a little tar paper shack over on the right, and a little yapping ass dog come running out there, and I stomped my foot and said, "Get back!" And it was an old black woman.
Mm.
She went to hollering, "Hey, what are you doing?" I gave her this big long line of bullshit, you know. How my truck had broke down, and I caught a ride with the guy, and he was drinking whiskey, and I told him to let me out the truck. I said, "Ma'am, I'm lost."
Yeah.
I said, "You got any idea where I'm at?" She said, "Yeah, you halfway between Flora and Purvinsall." But I ain't never heard of either one of them. I said, "Well, which way's Leesville?" She said, "That way you going." She said, "But you sound like a good boy." She said, "Come on in and I'll make you some, I'll fry you some eggs and make a pot of coffee and drink some coffee." I said, "Ma'am, thank you so much."
Oh, wow.
And she said, "I'll call my friends in the sheriff's department and they'll come help you out." And I said, "Oh, I'll tell you what. You say Leesville's right down this way?" She said, "Yeah, it's about 8 miles down there to that highway." So I went ahead and run that other 8 miles and got out on the highway Easter Sunday morning.
Wow.
And I hanging my thumb out to a car that had come by. Occasionally a car had come by, and I was hanging my thumb out. I was trying to get to Texas, you know. And here come Jimmy Bennett and Robert Saunier. They had went to jail behind it, man. And they come through in the truck and seen me and stopped and picked me up.
No shit.
Yeah, they said, "How in the hell did you get way out here?" I said, "I run." They said, "Everybody run, but how'd you get way out here?" I said, "I run. I come through them damn woods." And they told me, said, "Bud, you 65 miles from Natchitoches." I said, "Well, I'm glad. I want to get further. I want to get home to Texas." And they brought me home.
Oh shit. That's crazy, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was. Yeah.
That cold will keep you going, and avoiding that trouble will keep you going too, man.
Well, Bill was there. Bill got away, but they got old Shorty. That was his dog's name.
Uh-huh.
You know who else was with us?
Who's that?
Arnaldo.
Oh, was he?
It was the first time he come to Texas, and he come to see this, and we went over into Louisiana, and they run down. They went to the river bottoms, and I went to the hills. I went back over the hills, and a bunch of them went off in that river bottom. And CP was with the river bottom bunch, and Bill was with the river bottom bunch, and Arnaldo was with them. I think maybe Norman was with them. But they all hit the river bottom, and they getting tired, you know. They done run all night. And I think they was running a circle. CP said they come out of the damn woods a half a mile from the pit.
Oh, shit.
But Arnaldo got tired, and he lays down, and there's some real fine, you know, soft vines and stuff on these trees, and he tears him off a bunch of them and makes him a pillow. His poison ivy.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. He ended up in the hospital with the shit.
Oh, wow. Yeah, what an introduction to Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Bill, man, I never seen the man lose a match. Ever. And I watched him, I seen him take a first time out puppy into a dog called Grand Champion Kingpin. And Bill stopped him. for, a pile. Like I said, I never seen him lose. He beat a tadpole.
Yeah, that was a famous one, Tadpole. And what was his dog called?
Bill's dog was Trouble.
Trouble. There you, I keep forgetting. Yeah.
Yeah. And Tadpole actually he was a pretty famous dog.
Yeah.
Tadpole was. Trouble wasn't too well known until that point in time.
Yeah. They had a big write-up on it.
Yeah, but Scallywag was his brother.
Right.
And Bill sold them both for a goddamn chunk.
Oh, wow.
I said, why'd you sell them? He said, well, Joe, I said, I know why you sold them. You don't have to explain it.
Yeah.
But he'd tell you his own stuff. Yes, good, but you don't want too much of it in your bulldog.
Right. Yeah.
And you know what he's saying to you when he's saying that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He
wasn't just going to get nasty and call it what it was, but.
Yeah. Yeah. I
admired him, man. I told people that's who I wanted to grow up to be, was Bill Fiddler.
Yeah.
Not be Bill Fiddler, but be like him.
Yeah. I had a lot of respect for him, too. Back in the day when I used to go with OTK and then Bill would be there.
Yeah.
Every time Bill was there, he never lost.
No, he didn't lose.
OTK didn't lose.
Oh, well, he don't do much of it neither.
Yeah, yeah. But one time Bill was supposed to go and he couldn't make it and OTK lost.
I told you what I told that guy that told me he didn't care for so-and-so, and I told him, well, I consider him one of my sons.
Yeah.
And shit, I met that boy when he was a kid, 19. He drove from out there right here to my house. And we left here and went on up the road, and he went up there and spanked their ass, and wasn't nothing to it.
Went back home.
Yeah, and I saw him after that point in time. No matter where we were in Mexico, I'd hear him saying, hey, Joe,
yeah.
OTK,
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was there.
He would do that. He'd go to Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi.
Or wherever, he didn't care. And
all by himself.
He refereed the match that I told you about when I went into Mapala's out there. Frank refereed the match where I had to jump over that big son bitch's head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have to do that. I just did it just to show him, hey, look what I can do.
Yeah.
Well, man, that's rude to take a little guy and just shove him out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, did he live northeast of you?
Bill, he lives straight north off the same highway.
Oh, okay. Because that property he was on, his family owned it for years and years.
For years and years, yep. He was like the third generation. I think he died in the damn farm he was born on.
Right. Yeah, he was born on that property, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, when he was getting sick and somebody said, well, you ought to go see him. I said, Bud, if Bill don't answer his phone, you don't just drive up there.
Shit. I wouldn't.
If he's got that gate closed, you goddamn sure don't crawl over that gate because he'll shoot you.
Yeah, he would.
Oh, he would. He was just a hardcore, hard, twisted country boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved him to death, man. He's so, Joe, he talked like this, just slow and calm. But he could be pretty much a handful when he was a young fella.
Yeah. Yeah, I got along good with him. I'm like you, I don't know why, but he just, maybe because I was friends with OTK, and they had been friends, but he just opened up. He'd tell me all kinds of stuff,
Well, hell, Dan got his feet wet running around with Bill.
Yeah.
Bill was Roland's go-to boy.
Right.
For years and years.
Yeah. And
he was Bennett's go-to man, too.
Yeah. Well, I even have pictures of back in the day. Anytime you see, if Dan would go out that way, you'd see Roland there, you see Mr. Bill there, and the pictures they all hung out together,
Most of the times Bennett would be in them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, who else you got for them old timers?
Oh man, we could talk about any of them. There's just so many of them, like Jerome. We tell stories about Jerome. Jerome, he was on the ground floor of it also.
Right.
And he's not only famous in bulldogs, his family is famous in sprint horses.
Oh, really?
Oh, you look in any sprint horse's pedigree, even the Go Man Go and Easy Jets and all of them, far enough back there, you're going to see a mare called the La Hernandez mare.
Mm.
That was Jerome and his family's racehorse.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't
And
know that.
Cox. And I know you've heard of the Wingate Brown Reds.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
That was Jerome's partner, was Mr. Wingate.
Yeah.
And they was famous for chickens, but they both was seriously into dogs. And, and Jerome and Jimmy in their early days, they were pretty much, not arch enemies, but competitive against each other. And then before they died, they ended up running around together.
Yeah.
And Jimmy's legendary.
Yeah. Oh, Jimmy Wimberly. Yeah.
Even more so than Jerome. And I told you, the proudest I've ever been in my life. I won a match with that little Conan dog. And I beat the unbeatable dog, though. I wasn't even supposed to be over there in Jimmy's barn. We was in his racehorse barn. And my feet was 3 foot in the air, and I was floating down that between them stalls where he kept all them racehorses. And he chased me down and grabbed my arm and said, son, that's Dibo. That's Dibo. I said, he's heavy Dibo blood. He said, no, God damn it, that is Dibo.
Oh, shit.
He said he looks just like him. He fights just like him. So when he told me that, I evidently Dibo fought in the eye sockets.
Okay.
Because that's what Conan did. Right. He was a good dog. Conan was a good dog, too.
Yeah.
He was one of them Tonka dogs.
Yeah.
You don't see him on, I've never posted a pedigree up, Richard, but some people post my dogs up.
Right.
And some of them's got the pedigrees close, and some of them ain't even got them nowhere in the fucking ballpark. And I don't argue with them. I don't do anything. I just let them go because I'm not going to post them up. Hell, I ain't trying to sell them.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, that's best, Joe. People that know. If they don't know, well, then that's their problem.
Yeah, Crab called me this morning. What about that bird shit, dog? And I just went to laughing.
Bird shit?
Yeah.
What'd you say? You mean shit bird?
I told him, well, that's not what he looks like anyway. But, and I told him, he said, ain't he out yonder? I said he was, but he's over here now, but he's going back out yonder, and now he ain't open to breeding. I hate that people ask and you got to say no, but.
That's the way it is.
Yeah. And like that other guy told me about him, said nobody will breed to him because he ain't registered. And I said, well, that's all right, too.
Yeah.
I'll breed to him.
Yep. That don't matter, man. All that matters
I
is
I don't breed to him, Richard. You know that. I let them young guys use that fucking dog.
Yeah, but it's good people that you let do it.
Oh, man. Well, like Josiah made in one of your statements when somebody asked me if I'd sold my dogs to Grinder Man. And Josiah said if you listen to him, he will tell you he gave his dogs to some young up-and-coming dog men.
Yeah.
Because he knew they would do the right thing, and to this day, they are like family to us.
Yeah.
And they are.
Yeah, man, I really like the guy.
Yeah,
I really like the guy out this way. He's good people, man. Just a hell of a nice guy, man. Solid.
Well, I didn't meet him. I met him whenever I run into OTK after 20 years and not seeing him.
Right.
And I met that guy out there, and I didn't tell him who I was. You know, I was just cutting up like hell, and I was just an old long-haired son bitch with white hair from Texas. And he also talked to one of my friends over east here, the Grizz, and asked Grizz, you know, got to telling him about meeting this old dude from Texas. And Grizz said, you don't know who that was? He said, no, but I thought he was cool as hell. And Grizz told him who I was. So then Grizz asked me, could he have my phone number? And that's how I met him.
Yeah.
But that's a straight up kid.
He is, man. You know,
I
when
say
we was
kid, and I say kid because he's the same age as my oldest son.
Yeah. Well, he's a kid to me too. Even he's probably 40 or 50.
Yeah, you're damn near old as me, Pawpaw.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you know, when we did that thing in Arkansas, that get together, he made me feel like he went to Arkansas just to see me. You know, it wasn't like that, but that's the kind of energy he gave off. You know, like,
oh man,
he come right up to me, shook my hand, and all that. And I had met him before, and I remembered him. But man, he just make you feel so good the way he shows respect and talking like that.
I tell you this: if he tells you he's going to do something, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
If he tells you he won't do something, he won't do it.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see young guys that can get down into the safe part of the world and do it.
Yeah. Me too.
There's no safe places up this way no more.
Nah. No.
And not just safety from Johnny, but safety from the crowd.
Yeah, that too.
It's getting nuts, Richard.
Yeah, the people.
I mean,
it's not the same.
The motherfuckers are shooting each other at the matches. You don't need to be at the matches.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's that bad element, man.
Well, there's more of that happening than's reported because if some bitches ain't fatally wounded, they don't go to the doctor.
Well, you know, yeah, and people know that, Joe. They know they can do shiesty shit or do whatever because it's not legal anyway. So you get away with all kinds of shit. Ain't nobody gonna tell on nobody unless they dead.
Yeah.
So they can do all kinds of shit, man.
Well, you know what stink got created over here a few years ago. And every man that was at that show got a visit from the initial guys.
Right.
And you can't lie to it. And one of my friends told them straight up. They said, there ain't no use in lying to us. We already got CIs that said you were there. And we want to know this. And how much do you use them for? He said, oh, you know, maybe $1,000, never no more than $1,500. And he turned to the Texas Ranger. He said, this ain't the guys we're looking for. What he said, we don't give a shit about these guys. And you know what they're looking for?
Oh, yeah.
They're looking for them big piles of easy money.
Yep. Yeah. That's what brings the attention. Generally, it's something like that. It's
me and one of my last old heroes, you know, was talking yesterday, and we talked about that same thing. Back in the day when everybody worked for their money that they was betting, the bets wasn't out of hand.
Right.
And you didn't put 150 people together to make the bet.
Right. Yeah, I even have a friend whose family's his family's been in that initial group since the 60s. And he flat out told me, Richard, they don't care about no Cajun rules and no this and that and little stuff, you know, that don't matter to them. What matters is the other shit that brings them there. So if the other shit brings them there and you got dogs too, or you're doing something with dogs and you got that shit there too, yeah, they're going to hem you up, man. They're going to take you all the way.
Yeah.
But on its own, they don't care about no dogs, people doing shit.
No, they ain't dogs.
Yeah.
No.
That's crazy. I remember you mentioned Mike Gregory the other day, Tennessean. That's who it was. I remember him.
Yeah. He's gone too.
Yeah, man.
He was a good man.
Yeah.
You know, I never competed against him but one time. And he was a pretty cocky guy.
Yeah.
But he was a likable guy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What dog did you use?
I used Flame into his champion, Ladybug.
Oh, Flame, yeah.
Uh-huh. Ladybug had fight, so old Flame went ahead and killed her.
Right.
She didn't kill her. She stopped her, and, but
yeah.
she killed her. Yeah.
Yeah. Flame was from Antonio, wasn't she?
No, she was actually from breeding that Coco dog, that dog that Antonio had sold to Mickey Mouse.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They bred Coco to Goolsby's lady.
Mm.
She was the mama to the Road Warrior dog.
Okay.
And I think Bristol Store was the daddy to Road Warrior.
Mm.
And then they bred Coco to her. Mark did. And he got, I told you there was Sid, Cocolito, Snake, and Flame in the litter that you went to the box with.
Right.
Sid quit his first time out in about 10 minutes. Cocolito killed Robert Kirkland in the box. Then he killed Bobby Hall in the box that Kirkland conditioned and handled for him. Then he went into Nemo and lost in 2.5 hours. He quit. Killed Nemo and lost.
Mm.
Then Snake had won. He had won 2, I think, in Mexico when he showed up at that big show up there. It was a big convention. And old Snake quit in about 2 hours to old Grizz, which was a son of Freebie and out of the old butch house bitch I had here.
Mm-hmm.
I never seen but like 2 dogs off Freebie that actually got to the box, but both of them was good son bitches.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they was litter mates, matter of fact. They wasn't. No, they wasn't. I'm wrong. Because that one I had, he was off from Digger in the old butch house bitch, not Freebie in the butch house bitch.
Was the butch house, was she down from Dallas or any of that stuff? What was she doing?
She was Joker Senator Cross.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what happened. They got in trouble, and they knew one of my brothers in the club, and they give him a bitch and a male. Well, then he got in trouble, and I got the bitch, and by the time I got her, she had heartworms. And I'm talking about like 32 or so.
Right.
83, yeah. And she was rough as hell, but I never used her because she had heartworms. I bred her, and she made old Shiloh. Shiloh's the one I told you that the dog that Joe Chan's Floyd beat with Danny.
Right.
Shiloh had already beat that dog.
Okay.
Yeah. That was from breeding Digger, that 8-time winning son of Satan's to her. Then the next one she was bred to was Freebie. And made old Grizz, but he won the match his first time out into Antonio. But both of them dogs didn't make it. At least Snake didn't live over the ordeal.
Yeah.
And then Flame, I think she won 4 and pulled up on number 5 with BB Red, or won 5. But one of them I didn't call a win. I told you about that.
Yeah.
It goes in her record as a win, Richard, but that wasn't even a match, not a fight. It was a match and made in advance and everything.
But there wasn't much to it.
No. When it was you, he's dead and gone, so I can say his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had a bitch he got from Pat Patrick, and the bitch wouldn't crank, and Flame wouldn't either. I didn't say Flame wouldn't crank neither. I said Flame wouldn't eat her.
Gotcha.
She snapped her. And when that dog squealed and went to running, Flame went to running behind it. And, you know, I grabbed the handle, I hollered turn, and this is instantly. And the dog wouldn't come out of the corner. And I asked for a courtesy, and Flame scratched over there and snapped it. And the dog laid down again, and Flame wouldn't bite the son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? I think I won 2 or 3 more fights with her after that. I beat that ladybug, that champion ladybug, with her after that. I beat R.A. Falls' daughter, the Moon, with her. I beat some good dogs with the bitch.
If they wasn't giving it back, she just let up?
If they didn't want to fight, she's cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could get along with the yard dog or the house dog. She could have been a house dog.
Yeah, maybe she was just too smart.
I don't know. I don't know. I tell you what, when her brother Sid quit, I was working him, and he quit real quick, and I had Flame. She belonged to JVA when he went overseas, and he brought her to me. And I come home, and life got rough there on Flame. And I'll tell you the truth, I don't believe in this, but I 3-dogged that son of a bitch, Richard. I was going to stop her.
Yeah.
And she didn't. And the last one she stopped was out of the litter mate sister, the Negra Tomasa. And bigger, and Flame stopped her. So I said, oh, I know the other one she beat Russian Bill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I knew it was one more fight in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on the 6th one, I think, she went into BB Red, and that's when neither one of them wanted to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You said they were just coming off pups, both of them, you think?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
and I'll tell you, that was 2 of the baddest bitches that ever put a track on the ground. But I never had confidence in Flame as being a game dog.
Right.
Because she showed me that when she beat Hugh Heron in a no contest.
Win.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Man, I used to follow Butch House's magazine mostly, you know.
Yeah.
They had some good dogs in there. I remember he
was a bully son. Boomerang guy.
Yeah, and he had some Sorrel's Bull in there. Well, Joker,
Yeah.
I think, had Sorrel's Bull in him too.
I thought he was the son of Boomerang.
No, he's off of Everett's Buck or Radix Blue. That's the same dog.
Yeah.
So Buck or Blue, whatever you want to call him, he produced 2 6-time winners, grand champions, Cherokee Chief and Joker.
I'll be damned. So Cherokee Chief and Joker was brothers?
Half brothers.
Oh, okay.
Same
because
daddy.
I had that old bitch here.
Did you?
And then I'll tell you another one. They bred her one more time to the Haviland dog, the Petey's, and she produced Nina Ross. Nina Ross went 4 for Petey.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I remember he had Joker, he had Champion Senator, he had Hey Son, bunch of other ones, but there was a lot of dogs in there. I had a son of Sharon Get-A-Hope. She was in there. Danny was in there all the time, Bobby Hall.
Yeah, in them books.
Yeah, in them books, magazines. Squirrely Shirley was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rainbow, daughter of Tonka. She was a 5-time winner and lost one. But it was a quality magazine. And then his wife, Miss Candy, used to write articles and stuff.
Yeah.
He always had a lot of respect for him.
Well, you know, another dog man he was damn good dog man. And a lot of people didn't really know him was old man Creel here.
Right. JC?
James Creel. He was good as ever walked one down the road.
Is that JC Creel?
James Creel.
Yeah. Probably the same guy.
He had Foxy Lady, he had Penelope, he had Dinky. Hospital Red, no telling how many winners, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have? Carver blood or bully son? What do you have?
No, he had that. He started out. I told you he started out with the Creole Skater was from up there. John Stoops brought him. He was at O'Brien breed.
Oh, okay. Dibo,
O'Brien Zeke Cross.
more Dibo.
Yeah. And Dinky, nobody knows what she was.
Yeah.
That's the one I told you was the old boy used her as a rodeo entertainment.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. But that's what he run his, and as long as he kept them two dogs in it, he had good dogs. And I tell you another one he had now, I told you, was that Flame bitch. That was Satan's sister. And Freebie and Satan was litter mate brothers, and Flame was their litter mate, all in the same pile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that was good blood. And like I told you the other day, that other guy, he didn't know so much about that. Because hell, he didn't even know about bulldogs before that blood is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that rodeo dog, he used to run loose in the rodeos.
Oh, yeah, he had 3 or 4 of them.
Amazing.
If one of them hooking bulls got on somebody or got to fighting the horses or stuff like that, they'd just put 2 or 3 of them little bulldogs on him. They'd bring him to his knees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, they'd hook them and throw them plumb over the fence at the rodeo fence, but one of them would eventually stick to his nose and his going down.
Yeah, they drop, man. You get on that nose.
Yep, they go down on their knees.
Yeah. Quick. It's so sensitive, you know.
Yeah.
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 Man, you wouldn't be able to do that today. You'd have tree huggers and SB out there complaining, protesting and shit.
Yeah.
But hey, they serve a purpose. Then you put a dog in front of them, they do that work too, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they was, well, like I said, Dinky won 3 her own self. She throwed Foxy Lady, a 5-time winner. She throwed Digger and Bucky in a litter. Well, Digger win 8 and Bucky win 4. And I mean, in steep competition, beat a who's who in the game.
Yeah, let me show this real quick. This is the Bucky he's talking about. I got your shirt on, Joe.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, is that coincidental, brother?
That's coincidental. That's the Bucky.
You would think we planned that. Oh, Bucky, man, there's a story. When I beat champion Mickey Mouse with Bucky, we was over yonder in the swamplands in Louisiana. You know, if you went any further south, you in the Gulf.
Right.
And it was a long oyster shell road going out through them swamps to a little high patch of dry ground. And we was set up down there, and it's over. You know, old Bucky's done his thing, and they're waiting to do Falls Blackjack. He's next, and I'm out there on the tailgate of the truck, and that oyster shell road was straight as an arrow, but about 1.5 miles long.
Mm.
And I looked up it, and in the moonlight, I seen him coming. And I didn't say a word, shit. I just grabbed old Bucky up and I taken off with him. He weighed 40 pounds. Well, before anybody else, I think JJ was the next one to realize Johnny's coming up the road.
Right.
And he goes to hollering. Well, they hide the dogs and they throw 2 roosters in the box, and they got him a rooster fight going on when Johnny gets there. But before they got there, CP's screaming, "Joe, get the dog, go to the boat, go to the boat." And hell, I done got the dog and gone the other direction. I'm done 250 yards. And I didn't know where the boat was, so I had to come back with the dog. I got old Bucky under my arm, and I'm running straight back to Johnny. Then I had to take a left. Man, we got in a little old aluminum boat with probably 120 horse motor on that son of a bitch, Richard. And we left there out through them swamps and stuff. It was fucking, they put me on an island out there in them swamps, and we'd been out there riding around that day, and me and old Bucky on an island about big as a kitchen table. And alligators all around us out there. God dang, man. things you'll do for this.
Yeah, no shit. Snakes and fucking copperheads and shit.
Well, about there had been cottonmouths and water
Cottonmouth.
moccasins, you know,
There you
wouldn't
go.
be no
Yeah,
copperheads because we was out in the swamps.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cottonmouth. Yeah.
That's another funny thing, man. How many times have we shut and jived from one?
Yeah.
When I left that big and down south there, you know, and God, dog, they kept piling up on that hill, and I knew when the first one got up here, this ain't looking good. Yeah. I told Surfer Doug and the IK, you know, hey, y'all need to get out of that truck and take that cowboy hat off for sure and hit them mountains.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. I said, it ain't going to be okay. Right now it's okay, but there ain't but 3 of them up there. I said, a while ago there wasn't but 1 of them up there.
It's
And
more
before it
on the
was
way.
over, there was about 80 of them up there.
Yeah.
You wasn't down there and you're lucky.
Yeah. More on the way, man.
Oh,
They didn't care about no chickens, huh?
Huh?
They didn't care about them chickens.
No, down in Louisiana they didn't. I'm talking about another place I had to run from.
Oh.
And I done run my ass off up in these mountains, and I'm sitting up there looking around. And I said, "No, what are you gonna do now, smart boy?" You know you can't speak a damn word of this language, and you're 1,000+ miles from home on foot. But this instinct makes you leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna leave, just like leaving PJ's that night.
Yep.
Hell, I didn't know which way Texas was, but I knew how to go southwest, and I knew Texas was that way, so that's where I went.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I'd have had to go northeast a long ways to get out of the mountains and back home.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. We rode with PJ for everywhere we went. It looked the same. Like, how do you know where to go? They didn't even know.
Over there? Yeah, it's like here, man. It's just big piney woods.
Yeah, there wasn't even no signs on the roads and shit.
No,
half of them was dirt roads anyway.
Yep.
And
I imagine you went to the same place if you went to PJ spot, down them dirt roads and then down through that gate, down the hill.
Yeah, probably.
Across that field. Yeah. It was pretty, the parking lot was the field down there.
Yeah. I know they live there and they know where to go, but I was lost because it all looked the same. Nothing changed. And trees and water and dirt roads.
There's another one. That dude was an encyclopedia on dogs and knew every son of a bitch in the world that owned bulldogs.
Who, PJ?
PJ.
Oh, yeah. He was a funny guy, too, man. Crazy. Yeah. Big old, probably weighed 1,500 pounds. I don't know.
I don't know.
He was big.
Close to 500, I bet you.
Yeah, he was big, man.
He used to come over here.
Did he?
Yeah, just come over and shoot the shit, man. That's, you know, Pat Henry, he's messed up now, had a stroke and in a wheelchair and stuff. But he started coming here as a kid, and he met a who's who of the dog world coming through here, you know. Mm-hmm. People from China and people from Australia and people from Mexico all the time and all over. And Benji had an old table, an old wooden table sitting there, you know, for a dining table. And it finally got wore out. She said, I'm going to throw it away. And Pat told her, said, oh, don't throw this away. Please don't. She said, what? He said, oh, man, if you imagined if everybody that sat at this table would have autographed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, well, Big Mama would have got on my tail for letting them right on her table, Pat.
Yeah.
That's another guy, man. He ain't dead, but I miss him. He works the same dog every time, and that dog's been dead for 30-something years.
Right. Mm-hmm. Didn't he have is he the one with the football career?
Yeah.
Pat?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a hoss man on football.
Yeah.
He made All-American as a true freshman.
Wow.
That's rare.
Yeah. What college?
A&M.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
The first wrecking crew defense A&M had. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, he was the nose tackle on the original A&M wrecking crew defense. He had a guy named John Roper played with him. He went on to fame, and a couple of more, I forget. They had some badass linebackers.
Yeah.
but Pat was their nose man. He made it 2 years and shattered his elbow. Couldn't play football no more, but I was proud of him because he stayed in school and got his degree.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had high blood pressure, big man.
Yeah.
And they got his medicines crossed up and give him the stroke.
Oh, shit.
He was in a coma damn near 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But he was a good common dog, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Did he shatter his elbow playing or something else?
No, he shattered it in spring practice. So he got to keep his scholarship,
Yeah. Well, he did something with it. That's good.
Well, he stayed and finished school. That was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Richard, are you getting any response on your conditioner shirts?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I figured that would go good if you could get some of them out there.
Yeah. People really like it. I get usually, when it comes out, I sell a bunch of them. Then it wanes off, but every so often they'll get one. And then when they get low, I just re-up and make more,
Yeah.
But yeah, they're getting those are,
That's good,
it don't get
man.
no better than that, Joe.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. I was shooting the shit with JJ, and I said, well, man, there's one thing. Well, really, two things us four guys had in common. He said, yeah, Dibo and the Jenny.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Tudor, Mayfield, you, and
Danny.
And Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Commonalities, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But,
what y'all have in common.
Yeah.
And,
you can't go wrong with either one. You guys or Dibo,
Yeah.
Just a lot of history, a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience.
Well, I didn't do that. That setup come out of South America.
Oh yeah, that was what's his name did it. It did it nice.
Well, he did that, and I'll tell you, it's like I tell people, goddamn, how greater honor can I get than to be put on a shirt with them three people?
Yeah.
Or in a picture with them three people. You put it on a shirt.
Yeah.
And I thank you for that, because I tell you, I feel like, hell, anybody can have that.
Yeah. Well, you deserve it, Joe. It had, your name was different,
Yeah, I know.
So you asked me to change it. I had
my real name on there.
Yeah. I had it
changed.
Well,
I thank you for changing that too.
Well, you're welcome, Joe. You deserve it. And but the kid that did it, he did the writing exactly like the other one, so it looks original. So I tell everybody, yeah, that's original.
It'd be a good, what do you call it? Counterfeiter.
Counterfeiter, yeah.
Now, what do you call it when you signing somebody else's name?
Yeah, forger. Good forger. Yeah.
That's it, forgery.
Yeah. I send him different pictures. He'll clean them up, make them look nice. I don't know none of that computer shit. And even School Baby's limited, but she can do a lot too. She put what's called the thumbnail.
Yeah.
It's a picture on the in the beginning of the video.
Yeah.
And
I've seen them how you change now, instead of just being a microphone and stuff. You got all kinds of little cartoon pictures.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, rather than me with my stupid face on there looking dumb, she puts them up. But I'm thinking, what could we do for this one? Maybe it'll be a old man with gray hair or something, Mr. Gray.
On your New Year's show, was that where you complimented the young guys?
Yeah.
That was good, man.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. They deserve it,
Yeah, well, man, and somebody's got to take over for us, Richard.
That's true.
Even OTK, he's a young man to you and me, but he's on the verge of being an old man.
Yeah, he's feeling it too,
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time, but to me, he's always young, almost like
well, he's our son, man. He's got to be young.
Like that, yeah.
And like Jeremy. Jeremy's my son, and Jeremy, he's gung-ho again. He took him along hiatus, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that happens.
He's good people, man. He's the one actually that preserved the original. Him and Pat was the ones that preserved the one eye sperm and blood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he gave me. They used all of my sperm I had on the one I put up, and at one time put 4 straws at one time, and I never used but one.
Mm-hmm.
But then Jeremy gave me the straw that produced the shitbird.
Okay. That's how you
She had 13 puppies, and in less than 24 hours, she was down to one. She had killed all of them.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we raised him, and that's why, that's why we try to breed him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're so old, Joe, that the people we knew, some of them we knew or at least knew about, have passed away, and their children and nephews and like that are the ones making the comments.
Yeah.
They're the ones do it.
Well, and people we could talk about, like Ronnie Duyon, he's dead, but man, that guy, he went there and done that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Ricky Allen.
Yeah. Bennett Clayton.
Yeah, well,
all the Dagles.
I'm not knocking Bennett. I love Bennett, but Bennett wasn't what I considered a dog man.
Mm-hmm. He did have his hand on some good ones though.
Well, but somebody else conditioned them for it and stuff most of the time.
Yeah, Floyd did Boleo, and then someone else did, or Bobby Hall did Eli Jr. right one time.
I'm talking about just into the latter years.
Yeah.
Bill conditioned a shitload of Bennett's dogs.
Did he?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, Bennett looked at Bill like he is God.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Well, I told you what Mr. Jack said. When I told him Bill might be coming with us, I said, fiddler, and he said, there's really a fiddler. I said, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when he made, I thought he was more of a myth than a man. And I told him back, I said, hell no, at 14 foot, he's a nightmare. I had said that in one of them videos because I seen somebody laughed about it.
Yeah.
It was probably the one we put up for Bill that first time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, us looking back at the old timers, there's so many.
There's tons of them. Of them. And
what was that old man that was at the old timers party in North Carolina? Kind of old gray-headed man, and he had on a blue khaki shirt. I know his name and can't think of it, and you know his name too. He was from North Carolina, and he was good friends with Mr. Bean.
Ah, damn it. I can't remember, Joe.
I can't remember his dadgum name.
Yeah. Larry was there, and Casino, and...
Yeah.
A bunch of them, man.
Well, Mr. Robert was there.
Yeah. Gene.
And,
man, I used to follow...
you remember the guy named William Lacefield?
No.
Well, he is the one, actually, that Johnny's got the bitch from, that he made his 06-time winner with, that started what we know as the Jenkins dogs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he got the dog, the male, old Ray Jack. And Ray Jack got his name because of Ray. He was blind, and so they called him Ray after Ray Charles.
Okay.
Ray Jack.
Yeah.
And it was several generations of Jacks.
Right.
Yeah. Mr. Jenkins' blood.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that was
another, that man. They said somebody put up a video of him and about his dogs and called it the Red Boys of Louisiana.
Well, they were known for their heart. That's for damn sure.
Well, they was game, buddy.
Yeah.
And still are to this day if it's got enough of that in it.
Right.
They'll stay around. And that's when Johnny The Rude dog got off of the Pistol Pete stuff and got into the Jenkins blood. He went to winning.
Right.
You know, he didn't win. He wasn't, never was a guy that was out there, you know, every other weekend with one.
Right.
But we got to where when he did come, he was bringing a game dog.
Yeah.
And he beat some pretty. Him and Greasy Corner Kid was friends now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they went off down south to Mexico City with us one time. And they got in an argument down there. I think Greasy Corner Kid had one he might have called Simba. He was a 5-time winner. And Johnny had his old dog that was a 5-time winner. And they got drunk and got to cussing each other in Mexico City and matched them two dogs into each other. And then Randy, he just telling Johnny, I'm going to whoop that cur. I'm going to kill that fucking cur. Well, that pissed Johnny off because Randy's calling his dog a cur. Anyway, when old Brutus whooped Randy's dog, Johnny went ahead and whooped Randy's ass. And I mean, they're good friends, man. And
Yeah.
over them two dogs, they come into a fist fight.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hell, they're both gone too, man. I miss Johnny.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
good people.
Well,
Man.
we can bullshit about him now. Nobody cares because they can't talk about him. It
Yeah.
won't hurt her.
Yeah.
They talk behind their
Yeah.
back anyway, can they?
Yeah. But, you know, Johnny, he, you know, rest in peace. He opened his house to us, Joe. We slept on his floor, and his family was nice and like that, man. You know, not a lot of people are like that.
He was, like I said before, solid as a rock, and I mean that.
Yeah.
That guy, I met him looking across the box at him, and he become one of my very best friends and dogs. And you know, you lose him like that, it hurts because, hell, you used to waking up in the morning and either he's calling you or I'm calling him.
Yep, like that.
Like Danny, hell, I done talked to Danny this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have his phone number on my phone, Joe. I never took it off. Johnny?
Yeah. Well, I took his number out of my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just never thought about it. I don't go back and look at it, but I know it's still there because I remember I never took it off. But he just always glad to hear you if you called him up. You know, I called him up to thank him for having us over there and opening his house and all that.
He would open his house to you, and he had nuts, man. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He walked down that hill. He put a show on it there several years back for some associates of ours.
Yeah.
And a person that didn't get to go dropped a dime on him.
Oh, shit.
Well, 3 carloads of Arkansas State shows up down there you went to his house.
Right.
His shop was up on top of that hill, you know, another 100 yards up the hill from the house.
Right.
Well, they pulled up at the house and he walked down there and he refused to let him go to that shop. And that shop was full of some pretty prominent names in our game.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, my old growling ass buddy, he told me, he said, I tell you what, your friend's got balls that clang. He said he went right down that hill and he told him, ain't nobody going up there without a fucking search warrant. Well, what are they doing up there? He said, we having a crawfish boil. And they had done washed and everything, brother. And he wouldn't let him go up the hill.
Well, he was right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was, man. He was if you had Johnny on your team, you had a good team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and I'll tell you another good guy, if you got time, was W.A.
Yeah. We'll finish out with that one, Joe. Go ahead.
W.A. was a good man, and a lot of people give him a lot of hard things because he got splashed all over the TV.
Yeah.
And some of that splash was on me. Mm-hmm. And he covered it.
Yeah.
And everybody, he did this, he did that, but I know why he did what he did on the TV. Because they give him a choice. You either give us this interview or we're going to dive deep and we pulling everybody in the videos up. So he gave them the interview.
Right.
He told them some pretty good lies, but lies that save people, not hurt people.
Right. Yeah, he
I
goes
know
back
the man,
a long
he was
ways.
a good man.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it broke him to lose his dogs. It broke him. He died from it.
I bet.
He did.
Yeah. Man, they go back. He goes back so far. I'm talking in Pete Sparks magazine.
Yeah. W.A.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a good man.
Yeah. Yeah. Way back there. People look at him. You'll see his name in there. W.A.
He loved them Zebo dogs.
Did he?
Oh, yeah. He had some good ones, man.
Yeah.
He had Mugger. Mugger was a 5-time winner. And he had one named Angelo that was a shredder, man. And he went into, that's where Creel's Dino beat Angelo in a goddamn, bloodbath for Creel's Dino.
Yeah.
Angelo stopped. And I'll never forget that. That's the night the damn police in Church Point shined their spotlight on the tailgate of the truck for him to work on Dino. Believe that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Were those dogs right off of Zebo?
W.A.'s dogs?
Yeah.
I don't know if they were straight off Zebo or not. He just called them Zebo dogs.
Right.
I tell you, some of them was black and tan, like a Doberman.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Built some bitches, but colored like Dobermans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he also, that black diamond dog that went to Mexico.
Yeah.
But W.A. worked that dog and handled him and everything, campaigned him, but he actually belonged to a big German guy called Ron Schmidt.
Okay.
Yeah, he hung with the Bayonne Club for a while. Yeah.
Wow. That's some great history, Joe. On that note, we'll have to finish up this interview, but we'll do it again, brother. You know we always do.
Maybe somebody will listen, maybe they won't.
Oh, they're going to love it, man. Believe me.
Even if they don't, I enjoy talking to you, brother. We can shoot the shit anytime, you know.
Sometimes they'll hit me up this and that, and, can you ask Mr. Gray this and that? And sometimes I write it down, sometimes I forget, but you always end up talking about it anyways, They ask me about Jenkins and like that and different things, Well, shit, we talk about them anyway, so it'll come out. Don't even worry, people. It'll be out there. Yeah. All right, Joe. Well, I appreciate it.
Take care out there.
Take care, brother.
Hey, you ain't on fire, are you?
No, that's down south, but our buddy is. Yeah.
OTK?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. They burn. Schools are burning down, and buildings, and forests, and it's windy as hell, Joe. So
that's what they're saying. I talked to our other friend out there, and he said he's safe. Yeah.
Well, where he's at, he's safe too, because he's not. But he drives through that area or something sometimes, But yeah, he said it's pretty bad. I didn't even know till this morning it happened. I don't even know when it happened. But it's burning like hell down there.
Yeah. Well, all right, brother. I'll holler at you or holler at me, Richard.
I will. Take care, Joe.